All the time.
I deserved it.
All the time.
And obviously, when talking about a Battlefield game, the vehicles play an important part. Can you explain a little bit about the vehicles we're going to see in Battlefield 1?
Yes, of course. Vehicles are at the core of our all-out war gameplay. There's a huge variety of vehicles to choose from, giving some really cool and unique gameplay opportunities. So everything from scout planes to bomber planes and tanks, from light tanks to heavy tanks, and some boats, ships, battleships, horses, and much more.
Can we ride the horses in Battlefield 1?
I can either confirm or deny that at this point in time.
That sounds terrible. Wesley, what's your perspective on using some of those elements like a battleship?
Well, obviously it's a battleship, so it's extremely powerful when it's in your hands. You feel unstoppable using that kind of thing, but it always feels like you're contributing to the success of your team. You have this massive firepower, but your ultimate goal is to win over the enemy and make sure your team benefit from you using it. But because this thing is so big, you are just a massive target. And it doesn't take long for the enemy team to figure out what you're doing, and you don't last long after that.
Yes.
Beauty of rock, paper, scissors.
Exactly.
Makes sense. See, Alex, we talked about multiplayer today, but I know you guys that you have the team. You guys are creating a pretty great campaign for the game. Can you tell us about the campaign and what we can expect?
Yeah, it's more than pretty great, I would put it. But essentially, what we wanted to do is to add more Battlefield in the Battlefield campaign, and that might sound silly, but what we're doing is we're adding a variety of vehicles, we're adding more gameplay, more agency, and more player choice, and more ways for you to experience all these cool Battlefield moments, because at the core of this, we're creating a campaign that revolves around these Battlefield moments that we love, and that's how we started, and that's how we built the campaign around that. Now, in the campaign, we're going to tell us stories about the destinies of several different people, and how they react to the world changing around them and how that changes them back. So we will be providing different perspectives of this era of these stories. So, and we'll dive more into those details in the next coming months.
We have to wait.
We have to wait.
Well, fine. All right. We're going to take some questions from the audience here and from the live stream. Coop, with the questions.
Yes. Yes. So, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Tommy from Two Angry Gamers, and I would love to know more about destruction. Destruction's a huge part of Battlefield now, and I think I speak for a lot of people in this room and around the world when I say we would like to blow everything up. Can we do that?
Yes. Yeah, can we do that? Can we do that?
Sounds like music in my ears. Yes, we all love destruction, and I think it's something that is truly unique for Battlefield. And of course, I mean, with the communication with the community, or communication, the feedback from community and our own wishes is really to push the boundary for destruction in the dynamic world. Since, to be honest, we're stepping back to an era where the destructive power was enormous. There were thousands upon thousands artillery shells fired in the day. We see plenty of the vehicles up here that do massive destruction. So we feel that pushing this and giving that into the hands of the players will be a really strong part of what this game is all about.
Yeah, and we actually had Westy over a couple of months ago playing a map when he was in the battleship, actually. And then we actually got to the point where there was actually too much destruction. So I think it's
Is there such a thing?
Apparently there is.
It's the first time we've gotten that.
Yeah, this is news to me as well. But apparently what we need to find is to strike a balance between what breaks the gameplay and what keeps it dynamic and emergent as possible. So that's the balance we're striving for. But as much as possible goes, obviously, because that's what we want to do.
You will leave a mark.
Yes.
Nice. Coop, question me.
Yep. All right. Hey, my name is X Factor, and it looks like tanks are to be feared again in the Battlefield franchise. How's vehicle gameplay going to be different in Battlefield 1?
So that's a great question. So I mentioned earlier that we would be having kind of different types of tanks, everything from light to heavy tanks. And what's cool about these vehicles is that they are in themselves unique. So you can't just learn one tank and apply that knowledge to other tanks, because they're unique in the way they look and they perform and they play. And I think it's up to the players to find out and figure out all the little quirks from how they perform and what you're supposed to do with them. And of course, we have we're bringing back some sort of rather large tanks, so you can bring your whole squad into the tank almost. Or I think we can, the whole squad?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Lars.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, the full tank, which is pretty exciting. And so there's a huge variety, and I think that it's all about figuring out the quirks and the details and how that thing works.
Yeah, I mean, these were times where tanks were built out of necessity to push through the front lines, and with that, everyone had their own take on how they were to be built and shaped. And instead of seeing that as something negative, we've taken that and embraced it to create different types of experiences. And it wasn't until later wars where they decided that this is the best solution, and then minor tweaks. So for this, it's a great opportunity for us to build new gameplay experience where all tanks are different. So good stuff.
Cool.
We got another question.
Hi, my name is Berdu, and we saw some.
We have a huge variety of weapons and gadgets that we'll be playing around with, and this guy will play a special role as well, and that's something that we are going to have to dive into the details in the next couple months, but definitely it will somehow be in your hands.
Yeah, what's super interesting for us is really this was where the old world met the new world, and we want to depict this. So the variety of tools, the variety of approaches and tactics is something that we really want to reinforce. And I mean, yes, we're going to dive into what exactly these are, but it's been a very interesting project from finding all of these possibilities.
Cool. Got another question for me?
Yes, I do.
I'm Stoda. I was wondering if there was any weapon customization at all?
Yes, there will be weapon customization, and we have some cool stuff going on there, and we're even adding a new type of flavor that we're adding to these weapons. I can't go into too much details about what that is right now, but I think that you'll appreciate us taking what we had and kind of developing that a little bit further, and to provide even more, customization options that I know you guys love and like so much.
Awesome. And we have some community questions from the live stream. Dan Mitri, to the stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Mitri, Global Community Manager.
Yeah, so we're coming live from chat.
Nice.
So we're going to pull
What's
this.
the chat say?
I've been watching here. Yeah,
okay.
It's crazy. Okay, so first question. You said you may or may not be able to ride horses. Can you fight with them?
What? Can I what?
Can you fight with them?
Can I fight with them? Bringing mounts is new to the franchise, so it's pretty exciting for us to bring a new type of vehicle to the franchise. And obviously that will be providing us with some all new gameplay experiences and opportunities that goes with that. But without revealing too much, yeah, there's something there. And I think I revealed a lot already, so yeah.
But it's definitely one of the things that for us as developers have made us super excited working on this project.
Yeah, it won't just be sat there in the corner.
It's one of our pet peeves.
Yeah.
I see the chat lighting up on that. That's a good answer. What's the deal with bayonet charges and melee combat? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, Lars, do you?
I mean, once again, going back to the beauty of this era and the gameplay that we want to depict here is that in order to capture the fun gameplay within it, we have shortened engaged distances. It is a much more up-close and personal experience. And would it be the trench warfare when you finally reach your enemy? I mean, melee was a valid tactic and a necessity, to be honest. So to embrace this and add additional gameplay depth is what we really wanted to do. So whatever you choose in terms of tools, I mean, previously it's been more of possibilities, but now we want to take it even further. Whatever you choose, you have a different approach that fits your playstyle. And then, of course, the bayonet charges, where I always end up on the receiving end. But yeah, so we want to broaden it and give it more space.
Okay, I have one more question. We saw in the trailer gas and gas masks. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so yes, there is gas, and the counter to that obviously will be the gas mask. This is up to you, obviously, whether or not you want to charge through that area. You want to try to find a way around the area with the gas. Again, this is to provide, unique gameplay flavors, and how you utilize that is all up to you, and how you want to charge through it or not, that's also up to you. So it's an interesting flavor.
Yeah, it's about finding the varieties and providing all of these different tools into the toolbox to give even more variety, more choice, and more things to adapt to. And the one who does it fastest wins, I guess, or smartest.
Awesome. Well, thank you, crowd questions. Thanks, chat
Thank you.
questions. And thank you guys. I mean, Alex, any last remarks?
Yeah, so Battlefield is a huge game. And what you saw today was only a small part of what the game is about and what we've been working on for these last few years. But we will be showing you more in the next couple of months.
I can't wait to play again, and I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it either.
So, so
Yeah. That's what matters in the
then
end.
it's time for me to step in and say that, don't worry. we have a couple of opportunities coming up since, first and foremost, in about a month, we have EA Play coming up in June, where you have the possibility of getting first hands-on with the game. And then, later on, you can get early access to the open beta by becoming a Battlefield insider. So go in on battlefield.com and sign up, and there will be news.
I mean, obviously, we have to get to the million pounds question. Can you give us a legit release date?
Oh.
A confirmed release date?
I thought that was leaked already. What? Okay, I'll give you the official word then. So the official worldwide release is October 21st.
Nice.
Soon.
But if you pre-order the early enlister edition, you'll get the game as early as October the 18th. Plus, for our EA Access and Origin Access member, we'll get play the game before it's released with the Play First trials on Xbox One and PC.
Awesome. You guys, thank you so much for coming and showing us and the world and the millions and millions of people watching the brand new Battlefield 1 trailer. Hopefully, the Battlefield fans enjoyed the show. Make sure you stay in touch with Battlefield on all their social channels, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
Yes.
Can we play the trailer again? Can we play the we can? Let's play the trailer one more time.
Play the trailer! Bring it on.
Play it first on Xbox One with EA Access.
Alright guys, that was the trailer for the new Battlefield, along with the finishing part of their premiere conference. So now I'm going to discuss a little bit of that with you. Honestly, I don't know what there's not to love with this new game that's going to be coming out. And they've shown that they're going to be bringing so many new features. It is definitely not a copy and paste or anything like that we've been seeing with the Call of Duty trailer. That's Infinity War. A lot of people are disappointed with that, as you can see from the dislikes they received on their video. But yes, we're going to be moving into a whole new world with Battlefield 1. They're going to be bringing flamethrowers, all types of weapons. I don't think we need to be worried about the customization that they're going to be bringing, because they have showed us that there's going to be a ton of variety and a ton of vehicles. And the size of the maps looks fantastic. And I'm glad to see Battlefield returning to bringing us a campaign as well as a multiplayer, because a game cannot be centered just on the multiplayer, and we saw a ton of disappointing campaign in Battlefield 4, but I don't think we're going to be disappointed again. Honestly, yeah, I see a lot of good things happening. I don't know if you saw in the pictures above, but they showed a lot of melee combat, and that's really appealing to me, because one of the things I wished for all of the Battlefield 4 multiplayers was I could put a bayonet on my M16, and now I can go into Battlefield 1 and finally put that bayonet on my gun and move on to the battlefield. And he mentioned also that entire squads will be able to fit into a vehicle, which sounds great, because there's nothing more disappointing than I play in Milsim with 2nd Cavalry Regiment, and you can have a pilot, but you can't fit a whole squad in there. So it would kind of sucks when you have to leave a guy behind. Very important element in the entire gameplay. Those were in part of the game. Be adding element to has a AAA franchise before, and even though a lot of people were if you have any